The devil's fine print. The devil is in the details. There is a clause hidden in the contract of our modern life. It's not written on any piece of paper you signed, but its terms and conditions are enforced every day. It's a manipulative agreement, and we are all living under its rules. This isn't a theory, it's a pattern, a playbook, and to understand how we can break free, we first have to see the ink with which it is written. In a controversial text called Interview with the Devil, the nature of this control is laid bare. The devil in this context is not a red man with a pitchfork, but a personification of the negative energy that thrives on our fear and inertia. It explains its greatest weapon is the principle of habit, and it targets those who permit themselves to be influenced and controlled by circumstances outside their own mind. It calls these people drifters, and it states its most powerful truth in a single chilling lie. I cannot entirely control any person who thinks.
I cannot entirely control any person who thinks.
This is the core of the devil's fine print. The system can only control us if we agree to stop thinking for ourselves. And how does it secure that agreement? By telling you the truth and then making sure you ignore it. Let me give you a perfect historical example. For decades, the tobacco industry ran campaigns that was a masterclass in its deception, while internal memos from the 1960s acknowledged that nicotine was addictive and their products were harmful. Their public face was one of outright denial. They marketed cigarettes as healthy, as cool, as a symbol of freedom, the American way. But as the truth began to surface, they didn't stop. They simply adapted. They fulfilled their karmic, legalistic obligation. They put a warning label on the box. And then they launched the second part of the operation. They created light and low-tar cigarettes, marketed as healthier alternatives, while knowing they were not. They founded front groups to cast doubt on the science of secondhand smoke. An infamous internal memo of 1969 laid the strategy bare. It read, "Doubt is our product. Doubt, confusion, misinformation. This is the fine print." But the most cold-blooded revelation was their term for the young people they needed to addict to replace the customers who were dying. They didn't call them new customers, they called them replacement smokers. They told you the truth on the side of the box in small font, and then they spent billions to make you doubt it, to make you feel that using their product was a personal choice about freedom and style, not a health decision. They gave you the truth and then manipulated you into consenting to your own destruction. This is the blueprint, and it extends far beyond products. It extends to power itself. We have been manipulated into glorifying our leaders and funding the very pedestals they use to look down on us, psychologically and mentally. They must not be higher than us. They should be at our level, rubbing shoulders with the people they serve. But what do we see? A fat priest preaching to starving churchgoers, a fat politician in an exorbitant state making laws for homeless citizens. We keep feeding and paying them better than we feed and pay ourselves. This is insane. This is the ultimate fine print, the clause that tells us to love power more than we love ourselves and our neighbors. It tells us their comfort is a sign of God's favor or a reward for their brilliance, while our struggle is a sign of our own failure. But no more. This is the blueprint. And for centuries, they have used our greatest tools of connections as weapons of distraction. Religion, instead of organizing community resources to ensure food and shelter for all, too often taught fear of hell and obedience to power. Newspapers, which could have printed articles teaching skills to heal our earth and ourselves, chose instead to print wars and divide us against each other. Television became a tool of passive consumption, and now the internet and artificial intelligence flood us with meaningless memes, drowning our attention in a sea of nonsense. But here is a secret they never wanted us to learn. These same tools have always held the answer. A religion can build a community kitchen instead of a golden altar. A social network can coordinate a local cleanup instead of spreading hate. A broadcasting signal can teach regenerating farming. An AI can model equitable resource distribution. We must reclaim these tools. We must use them wisely to bring life back to our fellow humans who need clean air to breathe, to our marine life that needs clean water to survive, to our soil that needs to stop being smothered by paving every square inch of it. Seeing this mechanism is the first and most profound act of rebellion. By pulling back the curtain, we nullify their contract. We put the architects of this misery on notice. Our non-consent is hereby submitted. We are no longer drifters. We are the awake. And in the episodes to come, we will not just expose the fine print, we will take back the tools and write a new covenant. We will heal our waters, revive our soil, and level the playing field for all humanity, building a world on clarity, community, and the unwavering power of a mind that has chosen to think for itself.
And the unwavering power of a mind that has chosen to think for itself.